Hello everyone, my name is Pax Ultra. Welcome back to another episode of Dishonored 2. We have awoken aboard the Dreadful Whale after dealing with Kirin Jindosh, and we have no powers. We have nothing in our quick menu, and as you can see up in the top left, we have no mana. So, I wonder what could be going on. Some things are going to change in this Dishonored Let's Play. Up until now, I have been doing everything blind. I have been sitting down, opening up the game, and just playing through a section as if I was playing it on my own, and talking to myself the whole time. While that is relaxing for me, and that's how I would play the game on my own, in this game, there are huge swaths of nothing happening because I'm just walking around, looking for documents, admiring all of the little details in the world. I can easily understand how that would be boring to watch. It's not the sort of video I would want to watch, and I'm trying to make the kind of videos that I myself would enjoy. Otherwise, they're just going to be passionless. So, I have played through the next little bit, and now I've reloaded the save, and we are going to just kind of go through it again. We're going to try that for a couple of episodes just to see if it feels any better. I have, the comment has been raised that I do better commentary when I kind of know what's coming up, because I guess I'm a little bit more confident. So, we're going to give it a shot and see how it goes. These episodes are not going to be rehearsed. I don't have a script, obviously. I'm already rambling and filling my sentences with and like and but I do know gameplay-wise how things are kind of going to go down. But I'm not working off of any sort of script, and as is the case with me, things are very likely to go wrong and I'll have to improvise, so we'll see how that goes. Anyway, I guess the only option we have here is to go out the door. There are no documents or anything like that to check in the room. I wonder who has come to visit us.
The void, but somehow different this time.
Somehow different. So, who do we think it could be? Has the outsider come to see us again, or is it somebody else who is getting wise to our doings?
Surprised I can pull you into this place?
A little bit.
The outsider marked me long ago. I made you flee your precious tower and turned your father into cold stone. How difficult for you. But when I was young, sweet Jessamine and I were close as sisters, sharing a secret. Emperor Coldwin had another daughter, born in shame to a kitchen maid.
Am I dreaming? If not, how is Delilah doing this?
She is using plot magic, obviously. So maybe I'm just not very smart, or maybe I'm not very clever, and maybe those are the same thing. But if my arch nemesis was to just appear before me and start monologuing, I would probably attack them. Maybe I'm just overly sensitive because I've just finished Kingdom Hearts 3, but I'm so sick of the protagonist just letting the bad guy monologue.
I told you when you're older, perhaps next year.
You said that last year. Jessamine is younger than me, and she's a court every day.
Business, well, it's complicated. We'll understand someday.
What did I do? I'll be good. I swear.
Next year, I promise.
Ooh. So, we have no reason to believe anything that we see in here. We still have no proof that anything she says is true. She could be fabricating all of this with whatever strange magic she has herself. For what it's worth, though, I actually believe that Delilah is telling the truth, you know, insofar as she is Jessamne's older sister. I feel like the game is trying a little hard to make us disbelieve that just because Emily doesn't believe it herself. And that's just kind of how stories work. Like, you know, they're setting it up to make you think, oh, she's not actually legitimate. But in reality, she is actually going to be legitimate.
During the day, Jessamine and I played games in the tower. But at night, I'd go back to the servants' quarters to cockroaches and thin gruel. Emperor Daddy would visit and tell me if I was good. Next year, I'd be old enough to come to court to be a princess. Then one day, pretty Jessamine broke something worth a fortune, and the spy master caught us. She claimed I did it, and he whipped me in the garden house until I bled. My mother lost her kitchen job, and that night we were out on the streets with no place to sleep.
I didn't break it.
Would you like to tell me what you did?
We were just playing.
Young Lady Jessie, what is your account?
It was her. Delilah's light. She broke it.
This, to me, smacks a little too much of... spoiler alert for whatever the second Alice in Wonderland Tim Burton movie is. I can't even remember. But it smacks a little bit too much of, like, the Queen of Hearts or the Red Queen and the White Queen. Whatever their names were. However, unlike, you know, that whole situation just being about who broke what or who misbehaved and got in trouble for it, in this world, the lie has longer lasting consequences, so it's a bit more understandable in that regard.
Mother and I saw the nastiest parts of Dunwall, ending up in debtor's prison. Jessamine died quick on an assassin's blade, but my mother lingered for weeks after a fat guard broke her jaw. They threw me out when she died. I looked up at the lights of Dunwall Tower and swore revenge. Washing bedsheets in a brothel, I painted on the side, until Anton Sokolov took me as a student. That's the polite word for it. I was crafty even before the outsider marked me, and survived the worst the Empire could offer. Now it's your turn.
My mother's sick. She needs help.
Your mother kicked off while you were out begging. She's another bag of bones now, girl.
What? No!
Your sentence is served and she'll be tossed out with the others. You can't stay here anymore.
So something I didn't think about when I played through this originally, I wonder if the fact that these images kind of resemble the paintings you see around the world, is that because she is a sort of a painter? Did she actually paint those images, or is that just how her mind visualizes the memories? That's kind of a nice touch, I think. Alright, we have a way out.
It's hard to know whether my dear old aunt is telling the truth or not. When I was young, the Loyalist conspiracy that kidnapped me also took Anton Sokolov. They brought him to the pub where I was being held and locked him in a cage meant for dogs. And you know what? Sokolov laughed at them. He taught me lessons and told me funny stories. He seemed immortal. His mind shaped our age. That's changed. The old man I rescued doesn't talk much. He eats what we give him, groans in his sleep, coughs out blood. I thought he'd tell me the secret to defeating Delilah and saving the Empire. But I'm not even sure he knows where he is. wasn't a dream, was it?
Am I to blame for Delilah's bitterness?
No. She's the one who orchestrated the coup.
Our decisions have weight. I feel my time drawing to an end soon.
And we are now back on the true Dreadful Whale. I think Jessamine there probably confirmed the fact that Delilah was actually her sister. Now, I don't think that excuses anything that Delilah has done. I'm usually very unsympathetic to villains that they try to make sympathetic, because I'm the sort of person who believes that even if it costs you everything, you should still do the right thing. And that's not easy. Like, it's not an easy burden to bear, but it is something we all have to strive for. Now, let's go ahead. We do need to go and talk to Anton and Megan Foster, who I can probably just call Megan from now on. I probably don't need to keep using her first and last name. However, there is a document right here. So that's Megan just thanking us for finding Anton, and further proving my, assumption that their relationship is sort of that of an old married couple. So let's go ahead and take a look out here. First thing we're going to do is check in on
Man of
Hypatia.
his age, Sokolov's making better progress than I would have expected.
Yeah, so I don't feel like the game does a good job of conveying this in the game itself. But they do, they do quite literally just tell you that Anton is aging and, his years are catching up with him. It doesn't always come across in the actual gameplay, but I imagine that for Emily that's probably really difficult, because if you've ever had a parent or a grandparent, somebody that you've really looked up to, and you've had to watch them deteriorate as they age, it's so very hard, especially if you are like me and you have the mindset of, oh, I want to help this person. There's not much you can do for them, honestly, and it sucks. There's just not a better way to put it. It absolutely sucks watching somebody go through that and being powerless. Hypatia seems to be recovering and is now making arrangements to go and help the miners, which is excellent. Yeah, that's just wonderful. Let's see if she has anything to say about it.
Good to see you're still with us. Thank you for helping, Anton.
Sokolov's not the only one making a rapid recovery. I'll be good enough to leave soon. There's a lot to do. Of course, unless the Duke falls, he'll undo my best efforts here.
Then we'll have to make sure Duke Luca Abel doesn't overstay his welcome.
Karnaka's key leaders are flawed, for certain. After all this is settled with the Duke, and the time of the coup has passed, whichever ones are left standing could change things here. Consider that, as you come face to face with the Duke's remaining associates.
I appreciate your thoughts on the matter, Alexandria.
I do hope that we get some kind of epilogue detailing how all of the people that we have helped, the people that we didn't kill, somehow ended up better off, except for Jindosh. I don't think there's any way to put a positive spin on that. Okay, it looks like we just have Megan's notebook up here. So Megan is getting a bit weary of this business. And it also seems like, more than just being a political struggle with implications as far as like who is in charge, there might also be some like supernatural things going on, which is kind of obvious. You know, Delilah's not just a normal enemy. But Megan has noticed some strange weather phenomenon. Or is it phenomenon? I can never remember. I can't keep those two straight. Either way, stuff is getting weird.
Jindosh wanted me to help him with a rather complicated problem. It would have enabled him to make his clockwork soldiers at a fraction of the cost. Clever man.
Not clever enough. What's wrong with people like that?
A restless mind and an empty heart, perhaps. Jindosh would have snuffed me out as soon as he got bored. I appreciate what Emily did for me, freeing me from that place.
I searched for you, Anton. I would have found you.
I knew you'd try, Megan. They kept me going after they gave me to Jindosh.
Either way, you're back now. I'm glad.
So that's very sweet. Let's check in on the old married couple.
Emily.
Ah, the Empress has risen. A peaceful sleep, I hope. Nothing like the pillows at Dunwall Tower, made of goose feathers.
Sit down when you want to talk.
So I can't tell if Megan is just being her usual standoffish self, or if she has an issue with us for something. It could be either one, honestly. She is not the friendliest person. So we've read that. We have not read this. So I don't actually know if ultramarine is a real color, like, you know, before Warhammer and everything, but I think it's funny that they've referenced it there. This door is still locked. I still have no idea what's on the other side of it. We can start the briefing. We'll check out the connection board here in a moment.
Delilah Copperspoon, or is it Caldwin?
I think it's most definitely Caldwin. I don't think the game is lying to us at this point. I think Emily is being obstinate. Let us see what Anton has to say in his diary. I have moments like that even now, even as someone who's not even 30. I have, you know, intense memories where I'll smell something and it will just trigger, you know, an old recollection of something in the past. It's not unpleasant, like I'm not suffering from it like he is, obviously, in that diary, but I don't know, I just think that's interesting. That humans are so sensory, and that our memories are linked to things like smell and touch, and even the weather. So we've read all of these books. The only thing in here that is new, as far as I know, is this note. And as you can see, our guests are missing. Yeah, when I first read that, I was thinking, Megan, are you ill? Because it's so out of character for her, but no, she's just being sarcastic. But we will assist her in that regard. We will go down into the engine room and... oh, there are the blood flies. And unlike some of the others that we've encountered, they just don't even stand a chance. However, something cool that we find by doing that is a bunch of incendiary bolts, which are going to come in very handy in the near future. With that done, I think the only thing left to do is start the briefing.
Anton, when I brought you back, you could barely speak. But it's been 3 days.
They tortured him. His body is covered with bruises.
Delilah has the throne, and my father is missing. This is Anton Sokolov, the greatest mind in the Empire.
No, Emily. Megan is right. I can make electricity move from one side of the room to the other, but Delilah is beyond my understanding. When I came to Serkonos, I meant to leave everything behind. But when the assassination started, I couldn't ignore it. By the time Megan and I connected the murders to the Duke, it was too late. The Crown Killer came for me. It kept me alive from my knowledge that I saw things. Jindosh often had a visitor, Brianna Ashworth.
She's the curator of the Royal Conservatory.
Yes, Ashworth is dangerous. As obsessed with the occult as Delilah. Apparently, she's working on a device called the Oraculum.
There's more to her than either of you know.
If Ashworth is one of Delilah's lieutenants, I need to eliminate her. Who knows what this device is capable of, or what she's up to.
So, notice how Megan obviously indicated that she knows more about Ashworth than she's letting on, and she just doesn't tell us. And what's more, neither of these two bother to question her on it, which I think is gonna come back to bite us in the future.
Jindosh won't be making his army of clockwork soldiers.
Unfortunately, he won't be doing much of anything at this point. So that is obviously a lie. Yeah, she is just using the mite infestation as a cover for whatever she's working on.
There's a spark in your eyes. Something other than hate, which surprises me given all that's happened.
Meet me at the skiff when you want to set out for the Royal Conservatory.
Alright. Oh, actually, there's one more line of dialogue that she has that I think is interesting.
Ashworth has an interest in the occult. That's a snotty way to put it. In another life, you might be facing me along with her.
But once again, just nothing. No context, no explanation. We are just walking into this situation. Megan knows something about it, and she's not going to tell us. I don't know, team. It just seems like it's bad teamwork on their part. Alright, well, we don't have anything else to do here. Actually, before we head off, I am going to buy a new power. We are going to buy the pull enemies because just playing through this next little bit, I feel like it's going to be the most useful thing for us. And then we will save that one rune for other things to come. I want the Shadow Walk power, but there are a lot of situations coming up where you'll see, I think, that the pull enemies is going to be more useful.
We'll take the skiff. I don't want to bring the dreadful whale any closer than we have to. There is a small dock in Syria Gardens, close to the conservatory. That's as far as I can take you. Ready to go?
Yep, let's go.
Yes, let's go.
There'll be a Grand Guard presence outside the Royal Conservatory. Inside, be prepared for anything. Ashworth runs with an eclectic crowd. They'll be the real danger.
Someday I'd like to know more about how you met Ashworth.
I know you would. Trust me. Ashworth is important to Delilah. Which brings up something else. You might be able to exploit the Abbey of the Everyman in removing Ashworth from play. Turns out the Vice Overseer in Karnaca has been watching Ashworth from a hidden outpost near the Royal Conservatory. Check it out first if you want more options. Remember, if she's still working with Delilah, Ashworth is a grave threat.
Thanks, Mother. See you soon.
And so, we have our main objective for this episode. We are going to sneak into that Overseer outpost and find out what they know about Ashworth. One of the first things you will notice about this area, oh my gosh, there are a ton of collectibles. We are not going to be hitting all of those like today. We will get to them though. Make no mistake. The first thing we are going to do is actually head to that one because it's fairly easy to get. It is in the black market, which is something that we need to go to anyway because we need to restock. Oh, hello. This I did not know about. I have to be careful because those aren't enemies. But there are guards about. In fact, I think we are gonna hop up here.
Another day like that.
2 coins for that cat lap? Well, no more, thank you.
We'll make our way around. I'm trying to get onto the rooftops. But we are basically making a beeline for that rune. There is a little hallway type thing right there. And that's where we're going. Ooh, I gotta be careful. There are some enemies right over there that I don't want to get spotted by. But I think we're good. We will deal with them in a moment. What is that noise? So, when we get back here,
Today's your lucky day, madam. It's the day you get to meet Pirate Betty in
we
person.
find some
Time to
more
pay the price if you
howlers.
wanna live.
Oh no, please! I have nothing. I'm just a poor maid.
I see you've heard the stories about Pirate Betty, about all the terrible things I've done to the fools who refuse to give up some trinket or a bag of coins.
Have mercy! Don't hurt me!
Should I start by cutting off your nose?
Anyone, help me!
Or maybe I could sign my name across your forehead with a knife. Use you as a human billboard.
Help! Murderer!
All right, no one's coming. What a bunch of cowards. We'll try it again later.
So they got me with that in a previous episode. And I almost fell for it again when I was playing through this on my own. Alright, so I'm gonna try to be terribly clever. It usually doesn't work out for me. Good grief. Okay. One thing we do need to do before we engage them. Trying to think. Yeah, we'll get rid of this one because we don't need it. Where? I think it was this one. Yeah. And quiet. Alright, we're gonna equip that for now.
What's going on here?
Okay. Oh no. Oh my gosh. Oh wow. So, did you guys know that if you link people together and then pull one of them, you will pull all of them? Because I didn't. Oh my gosh. I feel so bad. Oh, okay. Well, that's the consequence of ignorance, I guess. We'll just have to be more careful in the future. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that happened. Okay, let's go down to the black market. Why is it every time I try to be smart about this game, I get punished for it?
Please take a look around. We have the best wares for discerning guests such as yourself. Welcome to my shop. Say, an acquaintance of mine is supposed to be holed up in an office overlooking the Royal Conservatory. Check on them if you're headed that way. I'd check myself, but the streets are locked down. I'd make it worth your time.
I'll think about it.
See anything you like? The district is so quiet.
We are
since
gonna
the
do that
conservatory is
optional
closed.
quest, but not in this episode.
Come in, my friend.
So, we have
Always a
some new
delight to see you.
upgrades. Really the only one that we might be able to use is the Howling Bolt. The others are not really useful for our purposes. The first thing we are going to do is buy more stun mines.
No need to wrap it for you, I suppose.
And we are going to stock up
excellent
on
choice.
sleeping darts. I don't think we need anything else from this section. I am also going to buy all of
Certain will be
these.
satisfied with your purchase.
We'll go ahead and pick up this safe combination. Apparently, it's in a building infested with blood flies. I know where it is. I haven't really explored it yet. And then last, but certainly not least, and the reason that we are even over here right now is to pick up this rune.
You want blueprints for better weaponry.
Remember if he had... Oh yeah, we will also upgrade our stun mines because I'm going to start using those a little bit more liberally.
Farewell, and do think of us again.
Okay. Wow,
I look forward to the day when I can reopen my gallery.
I feel so terrible about those howlers. Like, how did you even catch on fire? I just... the situation got out of hand. I might have just been able to leave them alone. You know, I probably should have just left well enough alone. But no, I had to go poking around. And we are actually now inside of the, like, overseer area. This is the building that he is holed up in. I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. I think we need to go back outside. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, that is definitely what we need to do. We need to come at this from the roof. We do not want to open the door leading out onto the balcony. That would not be good. Now, the question is, can I get there from back here? I don't think so. So let's head back to the front area and we'll go up that way. Sort of the same way that we came in on. Yeah, we'll hop up here. And now we have a good view of these guards over here. I'm gonna go ahead and pop a mana potion. Oh man, And I'm not sure how I want to do this. I really feel like I need to experiment a little more. Where did that guy go?
My nerves are shot. Something unsavory going on. I'm getting good and drunk after this.
Nope. Can't do that. Let's pop over there.
Something stinks.
And we'll just wait.
That's not my job.
Bide our time. Okay, I don't think he's being looked at. Alright. We're good? We haven't been spotted. She's suspicious, but she didn't actually see us.
Something feels wrong.
If the like little musical note plays, you know, indicating that they suspect something, that means they're suspicious, but it does not mean the same thing as we have been spotted. They have to actually like try and attack you.
Settle down, stomach. Dinner will be on shortly.
I wonder who that was.
We'll go ahead and grab her. We're around the corner so he can't see us. But that will drop him as well because we dominoed them together. Alright, and easy as that. Now, you may notice the windmill, which, similar to another episode, is powering a wall of light. We are not going to mess with that, because I'm willing to bet we can find another way around. But that is a task for another day. Right now, we are actually exactly where we want to be in terms of our main objective. I'll let you guys read about the windmill operation if any of you care. So that is just a document meant to add verisimilitude to the world. I don't know why I ate those. I didn't need them. Story of my real life too. It's just meant to add, you know, consistency to the world that we are in. It doesn't really serve a purpose other than that, as far as I know. Now, on to this guy. Ooh. Stop that. The last time I dealt with him, I was using the shadow form. We don't have such a luxury. Can I... Yeah, we can. Okay. So we're just going to choke him out right here. I am going to go ahead and move him, and while I'm at it... No, I won't do that. I'm not gonna... That's gonna get tedious for you guys and me if I'm constantly min-maxing my, far reach. I feel like, I don't know, we'll play it by ear. Because that uses a lot of mana, honestly. I might need to do it anyway, even if it is a little, eh. Okay, so. Go ahead and have a look around. Oh, I didn't read this last time. The Oracular Order divided. So actually, I think we have read that before. I just did not remember the title, which... Classic packs. Oh. Got a trap here. Go ahead and take care of that so it doesn't cause us any grief. Oh, that's... I thought that was an item. That's the guy on the roof. On the Oracular Order, let's go ahead. Can we recover mana by drinking from that? No, we can't. That kind of stinks. At least I don't think. Maybe we can. Maybe I'm just doing it wrong. So like now if I come over... No. Maybe we have to actually be missing some. Oh, there are some goodies in the bathroom. And then we'll definitely take that Addermeyer solution. We can't use any of the pistols. Grab the money, and now let's go ahead and start working our way through all of the good stuff we have over here. So, first thing is a map of the Royal Conservatory. So right now, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I think I'll be able to make more sense of it once we actually get inside and get our bearings, but that is going to be good to have. Other than that, it's nothing that we don't already know. Okay, oh, actually first, this note in here is probably more important than that book. So, the Abbey is at odds with its sister organization. The Oracular Order is supporting Delilah, and by extension Ashworth, but the Abbey does not trust Ashworth. And they are now, like, spying on her in secret because they think she is a threat to the Order. They think she is a harbinger of the void, which they're absolutely right. And you will see why in the coming episodes. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at this. So, I said that that document was not going to be useful, but it did give us one very good piece of information. Even if they're wearing blindfolds, they can still see you. So we gotta keep that in mind.
Brianna Ashworth, curator of the Royal Conservatory. For a while, I believed Ashworth has some connection to the occult in Karnaca. Something is happening that I don't understand. The Overseers are the forward face of the Abbey, but equally important are our sisters from the Oracular Order. To be direct, I suspect something is wrong within their sect. Subtle changes to the types of proclamations they've been making. Small, but troubling deviations from tradition. But publicly saying anything along those lines will get me accused of heresy by my rivals within the Abbey. Is it possible that Ashworth has infiltrated the Oracular Order?
So Vice Overseer Byrne thinks Ashworth is interfering with the Oracular Order. If true, it's another reason she has to be eliminated.
And while that is some very interesting lore, I don't know that it's a fitting reward for a side quest. But the map that we got certainly is, so hopefully we'll be able to put that to good use. But we have accomplished our main objective. I know I've said that 3 times and it's probably getting old by now. We have gotten the information from the Overseers. Now all that's left is to make our way into the Royal Conservatory. And I think before we do that, we're going to check in on that shopkeeper's associate to see what's going on there. I'm sure that's certainly not going to be horrible or disgusting in any way when we try to get to him. I think that this video has certainly felt more well-paced, just, you know, from a recording standpoint. Like, we're at our time limit now, and I feel like we've actually made good progress. Unlike some videos where I just kind of flounder around for 45 minutes and then that's that. So if you like the new style, definitely let me know. If you prefer the blind part of the playthrough, if you think, you know, seeing my first reaction to things is worth an episode every now and then where nothing really happens because we just run out of time, let me know. If you like this content and you want to see more, feel free to like and subscribe if you want to. If you want to chat, leave me a comment. You can, you know, check in with me on social media if that's your thing. And when I finally start streaming, I will be sure to mention that at the end of the videos. That is coming. I'm just not quite ready yet. Other than that, y'all be good, and God bless.